You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in this episode of PPR, man. We up in this thing. Shout out to the flock. Much love to you guys. Big Q, DC, Lex, full crew. We in the building for this PPR report, man. Listen, Pelicans, man. Summer League is over, and the Pelicans go down.
Big Q.
0-5. Yes, Lex. Welcome.
I don't think it ever started.
All right. They went down like somebody lit them on fire, straight on down.
Trying to figure out
Look,
why
carry
this
on
podcast
in my
was
Kendrick Perkins voice.
Carry on. That's right.
What's the clapping for in the beginning of the show?
I
That's
know.
for us and for the faithful for putting
there
up with
you
this,
go.
bro. That's what the clapper for DC.
Oh, shit, my
Just in
boy,
case you don't.
Everybody in the chat.
He feel the
Watching
same
this-
way. I thought I was the
Watching this stuff.
That's for y'all, bro. YBD
That's for
and
you,
John, you
Don.
dig, bro. That's for all
You
of the
DC.
fams.
Knoxville, and that's for you too.
That's for the fam.
Young City,
That's
Jessica,
everybody. That's for y'all because y'all
Michael in the
endure.
building.
The hell with the Pels. The Pels getting paid. We ain't getting paid for looking at this bullshit. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Michael Morgan, shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for the super chat. Says Queen news does suck, but we already need an upgrade at the center position. Hopefully, Joe and Troy have a plan. Vujacic or Kessler or Vujacic in case of Queen. But Queen is we're gonna talk about this, man. We're gonna talk about this as well. We're gonna cover this story, man, just to make things. But hey, man, appreciate you, bro, for that. Much love to you on that, man. Appreciate you for that, man. So thank you for that.
Put in a church collection plate, baby. All right.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, man, hey, thank you for that, brother. I meant to play something here that didn't work. But anyway, man, we're gonna keep it moving, man. Much love to the fam. Thank you, Michael, for that as well. And thank you guys for what you guys do for being here in the stream. Let's jump right into it, man. Let's get right into it and cover this, man. Get this stat prattling I'm about to do over with. And in this one, man, ain't much to talk about. Pelicans kind of got ran out of this thing. They did make a little late fourth quarter run to kind of make it seem like it was respectable as they chopped it down to a single-digit lead. They lose by 9 when they were just getting blasted. But 37 of 79 tonight for the Pelicans for 47%. They were 9 of 30 from downtown for 30% flat. They went to the foul line 29 times, were 21 of 29 for 74.4%. They got 46 rebounds out, rebounded the Pacers. They did assist well, but were out-assisted 29 to 22, outstole 10 to 4, outblocked 8 to 4, and they did have 16 turnovers tonight. So from my count, I think that's probably the least turnover amount that the young Pels have had during the summer league. They've had some stinkers, to be honest with you, man, with all these heavy turnovers
Right.
about it. But outside of that, let's hit the individual statistics for the matchup. And tonight, 22 points. Jeremiah Fears, uh, finished with 22 and 27 minutes. He was 7 of 16 from the field. Didn't do too well from downtown, 1 of 5. Finished 7 to 10 from the foul line. He had 7 rebounds to go along with 4 assists and 3 steals. He had 5 turnovers in the game, but was +4 on the night. 18 from Antonio Reeves, kind of stepped it up from last game. He was kind of looking bad, but he finished with 18 in 21 minutes, 7 to 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from downtown. Very good shooting there. 4 rebounds, 2 assists from Antonio Reeves. 16 from Keon Brooks in 25 minutes, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Keon. 10 for Hunter Dickinson. He finished with 19 minutes and finished with 10 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, and a couple of blocks for the 7-footer Hunter Dickinson. And off the bench, we've seen Will Baker, the LSU center, getting there and get busy. He finished in 7 minutes. He had 10 points and 2 rebounds in the game for another big there for the Pels. They're looking at 8 from Trey Alexander, who, the other game was doing pretty decently. Not so much this game in 24 minutes. Didn't shoot the ball that much. He had 2 of 5 shooting from the field. Finished with 8 points and 6 assists along with 4 rebounds in the matchup. 5 from Trey Townsend. We've seen a little of him. Chase Hunter had 4 points tonight. 3 from Titan Anderson. And Christian Shoemate had 3 points and 4 boards as the Pelicans go down 113 to 104. They finished Summer League 0-5. That's 2 straight years of not getting any wins in the Summer League. And what do you guys think about this, man? About the terrible Summer League play the Pelicans exhibited? And outside of that, when we get done with that, let's kind of move into who you guys liked over the summation of the Summer League. What 3 players really impressed you the most, and who you guys think will be of some impact going into the regular season? So, DC, Lex, feel free to jump in there.
You got it first. Let's go ahead.
I think looking at all these games, definitely Jeremiah Fears. He stuck out a whole lot. He First of all, he played all the games, but one thing that he really showed is that, he just had an it factor. He was trying to play with something. I don't think everybody had that. Obviously, there was struggles with Queen, but even though Queen did not play as well, he managed to average a double while he was playing, and that's not something that you want to turn your nose up at. I mean, for him not to be playing his best, there's some things that could have been differently as far as the coaching philosophy. Because there were differences when he was out there playing at the 5 in comparison to playing the 4 next to Misi. There were a lot of differences there as far as him really elevating his game compared to not. But I really liked the aggression. I think really just having that dog mentality. We don't really see that from, we haven't seen that from the Pelicans, from really any of the players, just having that dog mentality and just really competing at a high level. We need a whole lot more of that with the whole team as well as the coaching staff. But really, I think the biggest thing, this really it didn't tell a whole lot as far as, stuff that we already did. We already knew, but it was confirmation. The coaching staff stinks. Pure point blank. It really does. I don't really feel like they gave these guys a game plan, some structure, a foundation. Just something to go off of. There was a lot of one-on-one throughout all of this. Other teams were able to play together a whole lot more and a lot better. Um, yeah, that's definitely a glaring problem, and we have talked about it, but we got to continue to say it until something happens because it is the truth. We just don't have that. We don't have it, and it shows so bad. Do you mind showing that picture, Big Q? The picture I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up.
the look
Uh-oh.
the look Joe's making, that's all of our look. Okay. That is all of our look. Um, I can't say it enough. But we it's hard to move on when you still have a stain on your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go and get some dry clean, but you can't even get it out because that stain is still there. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to get the stain out, completely out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And it's not out. You know, that outfit still got that stain on it. So um yeah, I liked what I saw from them. Let me mention also Reeves. Um yeah, Reeves, he can come on back to the team. I think that's safe to say. Um, and Shoemate. I think
Who's spot he taking, Lex?
either Quinones or the other guy, Trey Alexander, I think his name is. Yeah, I saw enough of them, and I just feel like he was more aggressive. I feel like he felt like he had a point to prove when he was out there, and you could see that. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, when I was looking at them in different spots, I didn't care for it too much. When I saw them, but I did like Shoemate. Hope
Yeah,
I'm saying his name
I
correctly.
like Shoemate too. He
I like his energy, his grit. Just you know,
super athletic.
you we just want to see some toughness, man. Just something that sticks out, and really this team needs a lot of aggression, a lot of that it factor, a lot of that edge, just that attitude problem. Like somebody said something about your mama. We need to see that because Pelicans, all the way around the board have been disrespected for so many years. That if you want to turn this thing around, which I definitely see what Joe is talking about when I listen to him talk, when I see his aggression on trying to change the culture of the team and just his thought process, I totally get it. I understand it. We've talked about this many a times. Something needs to change about this team. Yeah, there it is. There you go. Everybody see that? This tells you everything that you need to know. This tells you everything that you need to know about the problems that the Pelicans have. It's literally this. I don't think Griff ever made a face like this. You know what I'm saying? He made things look like all honky dory or peachy and all that stuff, and it wasn't. Man, this is the face, and I'm talking about Joe's. Please don't, you know,
It's
think
the
I'm talking
face
about.
of stinky, the cockaduki.
Yeah. Hey, this tells you everything. Like, yeah. Like, hey man, this that dog won't hunt. This is a problem. We need to fix something. That's what this looks like, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. DC, you can take add on any takes that you see from the other guy sitting next to him.
You know what I wonder, Lex? Uh,
What?
I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering if Joe realized that Willie Green has been giving Brewer game plans. He looking at this shit we said out here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you've been helping him with the game plan, and this is what we.
yeah. It's awful. It's awful.
That's what it looked like to me. Willie's sitting
It's
there like, we just got to keep on going through,
and
and
as long as Willie here, man,
they're
this
going to
picture,
execute. We just got to keep enduring,
yeah,
keep enduring all these ass whippings, and we
you
eventually
right,
gonna come
Jessica.
through on the other side.
He does look embarrassed. He does. And we right there with him. We right there with him. I'd be embarrassed too.
Look embarrassed. Willie looks so content.
Now you know what, but really it just you can definitely tell that they spirits are different. You know how you be around somebody and sometimes you don't connect with their vibe or their energy because the spirit is different. And this is what this really looks like, man. Like just that energy, it is different. Like, dog, we are not in the same space. We not.
Most definitely. But looking at the whole, I guess, totality of the summer league, right? This is a disappointment from a team perspective. You know, I don't care what you
Come on, big Q
what you
dog.
got going on. You want to win, and for the
Yeah.
Pelicans to go 2 years without getting a single win in the summer league is just utterly insane. Um, the performances I see, from players, I'm okay with. Just with how the team looks as a whole is just crazy. You can tell our coaching staff is so bad, but judging these guys individually, I thought Reeves really he was playing like he's playing like money on the table. You know what I'm saying? Which it is for him. So I wouldn't be mad at us bringing him back. And I second the Trey Alexander. Let him go ahead and go. Hunter Dickinson. Like I ain't really high on him either. I thought I expected a little more from him. He ain't really show nothing. So, in my opinion, we could have two of those spots open. But everything I saw from Fears every game, to me, I think that's the positive. You could take out of this. Fears is that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he 18. He playing shit. He playing with more heart than everybody out there damn near.
Mm-hmm.
He's 18 and he's handling the physicality well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't gonna do nothing but grow and get bigger. He attacks the paint relentlessly. Tonight, Fears had what 10 free throw attempts. So I mean, this is a huge, huge deal. Somebody we got, and I think the potential for him is just unlimited. You don't know what this guy is gonna turn into. He showed so many signs of just what you want in a point guard and just a player. Period. Like guys over there, they trying to punk him and push him around. Man, Fears ain't having that. He's not having it. You know what I'm saying? So this is to me a good start for the culture going forward. Um, you got a guy you come in and hopefully we can put the right people around him to help train him up and get him where he need to be. I mean, he got some holes, but I've seen enough. So I'm
Yeah.
happy with him as a draft pick at number 7, and I'm also happy with Derek Queen. The game, the last game he played in before he got hurt, it was like the same thing. I just saw everything that you would expect to see from that guy. It only happened in one quarter. He took over the second quarter, I think it was, and he scored like
Mm-hmm.
11 points. He was just unstoppable. Put the team
Yeah.
on his back in that stretch and shut down the other center. For that period of time he was out there, he took that matchup personally. Everybody was talking about I don't even remember his name, the center for Portland, and how he's good. And it was almost like they were putting him on that slot as if he's better than Derek Queen. And he went out there, he put an end to that. And he another one, man. You can't push him around and you can't poke him. He ain't having it either. But his conditioning, you got to work on that. I saw in the Portland game, his defense ain't gonna never be super stellar, but it ain't as bad as I thought it was. I actually saw him putting forth a better effort with that. I think some of it might be conditioning. Obviously, some of it is probably laziness, but or frustration because Queen going out there, man. You see him setting up and they can't get him the ball, or he rattles off 11 points and then they don't give him the ball no more. So it's just
that sounds very familiar.
right. He was definitely getting the Zion treatment, but it's just so discombobulated with everything else. But looking at these guys, I think we got an awesome player in him. Now it do suck that he hurt. He's gonna be out for what 12 weeks, so that's 3 months. Uh, and with the Pelicans, I don't know. I wouldn't hold my breath about him making it to summer camp. I mean, not summer camp, training camp, because you just never know with the Pels, man. They say 12 weeks, and he got to do a reevaluation.
Nah, you were right. He may not make the summer camp.
The summer camp.
Nah, that's
summer camp
changed.
in
Ain't no
October?
ramp ups. Ain't no ramp ups.
We don't know. We don't know, Lex, because I'm not sure if that was a Griffin thing or that's a medical staff thing. They're using the same terminology. They say he's going to be reevaluated in 12 weeks. So it's like, but they did come out quick and at least say it this time. We didn't have to wait 2 weeks before we finally hear this shit.
Yeah, that's because Griff ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Look, stuff is being reported correctly now.
Right. And I know that was you was going to that queue, so go ahead and I guess you could read that story you got up there. I'm what jumping in front of the lead, one of the leads, because the damn show, far as this game they played tonight, damn show can't be the lead.
Nah, it completes the summer league for the Pelicans, and 0-5. That was one of the most recent titles to talk about outside of completed and getting our full thoughts on what we thought about it as a whole. But yeah, this is the most impactful story coming out of is the fact that Derek Queen, DC, you alluded to it, had surgery on a torn wrist ligament, and he'll be out for 3 months. So Pelicans first round pick, for those who don't know, Derek Queen underwent surgery to repair a torn ligament in his left wrist, and he will be reevaluated in 12 weeks. The team announced today. So Queen, the number 13 overall pick, will be out in the evaluation right around the timeline. The training camp is typically in full swing and the preseason games begin. So he appeared in 3 games in the summer league where he averaged 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 2.3 assists per game. So pretty good numbers for the big. And he played in over 27 minutes in those games. So he was a pretty solid player. He had the turnover thing. He talked about it, but it's a part of the process of him learning. But yes, the Pelicans, as always, we tend to deal with some of these things, these injuries. But like they said, he's supposed to be reevaluated around the October timeline, and we'll just have to see how that goes. So it kind of correlates to everything else. Now, we do have other players that are dealing with injuries that's supposed to be coming back. We know now with Derek Queen, his timeline. There's also Jordan Hawkins, who's dealing with that, what you call it, the lumbar spine fissure or something like that. There's a spine fissure.
He's still dealing with that?
Yeah. They say it's a small tear in the spinal disc.
Wait, that's actually chronic, ain't it?
God.
Yeah. So, and then outside of that, they got that listed on one of the most recent reports from a while ago. Then it's Carlo Mekovic. He had some type of hamstring issue. I think he'll be all right.
What? What was he doing?
I'm saying this is something that was on the past timelines of injuries that we're dealing with. And of course, the big names We're talking about with Zion with the lower back contusion. They estimate that he's supposed to be ready for the start of the season. Trey Murphy, y'all heard recently about Trey Murphy saying
Yeah, he said he's
in
gonna
an
be ready.
interview that he should be ready. He's just waiting for them to give a word for contact drills. So that's good news from Trey Murphy the third. And of course,
Mhm.
you hear about Herb Jones. He had that torn rotative cuff in the right shoulder. So
Mhm.
we'll see what his timeline at, whether he'll be on time for the start of the season or slightly thereafter. We know the most extended rehab period is going to be on DeJounte Murray. You know, we don't from that torn right Achilles tendon. We don't expect him to return until later on in the year. I estimate maybe December. You might probably won't do anything meaningful until the year changes over in 2026 January or something like that. So it's Pelicans have enough firepower to start the season. We just have to see where these timelines and where these players are in terms of coming back, so we can start strong. Starting the season strong means a lot. So that's where we are right now with all of the injuries. It's not good to hear that young Derek Queen had surgery on his wrist dealing with the Pelicans, because it invokes a lot of negativity about the years and year upon years of all of the below health staff and the technologies that we're using on these players down here. We're just not as cutting edge as we need to be. And
Well, you
sometimes it
gotta turn it
shows.
away.
So we'll see. He said they're coming back at the start of it. They estimate the revaluation for the start of training camp right around that time. We shall see where it goes. DC absolutely right. They do linger on with these timelines, and this health staff is still under question. They didn't add anybody new. I've
It's
been
a
doing my
mystery,
research,
man.
and word on the street is that nobody new has been added to the health staff. So, what's y'all thoughts on Derek Queen, Lex DC?
Go ahead, Lex. You got it. I already started mine.
Uh, Sometimes I feel like, was this something that he dealt with, before? I don't know. I just think it's kind of interesting. I didn't think it was serious. I thought, okay, well, he's just sitting out. Um, thought it was gonna be the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing, similar to VJ Edgecombe, because he was out for a little bit, but he came back. You know,
I think it was a thumb. He had a hand injury or something. Huh?
yeah, he did that, and then that's why I didn't think nothing much of it, because I was like, okay, you know, hurt, being cautious and everything, but he's gonna come back. Um, so I thought it was one of those situations, but apparently not. That's why I'm kind of thinking, is this something that maybe Queen was dealing with, before he got here, possibly. Because I don't know, stuff be weird to me when it comes to this stuff. Um, I mean, we've dealt with all the weirdness, going on with Zion, because times that he said that he was ready to play, he was good to go, and Griff basically held him hostage, from supporters and all that stuff. So, um, yeah, I just, hope, makes a speedy recovery. We want Queen to be able to, to prove himself, because there is, I want him to make Joe look like a genius. Um, I don't want to forget that statement, because that statement was like paramount. But, yeah, I definitely, because there is a lot on Queen, when just looking at his game, and then this right here, that pressure is still going to be there. I definitely want him to play his game when he gets back, but there it's always going to be there, and even from Pelicans fans, some Pelicans fans that have put that pressure on him as well. Um, it's a lot to take in, and he already has his work cut out for him. So, just get better, and I think, when you look at the situation, it's kind of, in a way, it is kind of unfair, because, Queen, you want to give him time to develop his game. Obviously, all these players got to. it's not just one particular player. Like whether you're top 3 or second round, the goal is to develop and grow your game. And so I feel like with him, in comparison to everybody who went before him, everybody's gone after him, he has the most, to prove, if you think about it. But just because of the I guess the media that or the lights just shine on the whole situation with him and moving up in the draft and all this stuff. So it is kind of unfair, but one thing I will say is that the Pelicans have been at a disadvantage. um this is where that chip on that shoulder comes in. It's like, okay, hey, you got this going on, what are you going to do about it? So kind of use it to your advantage, because this is the NBA. This is a grown man's league. And so, you just got to step up and go out and do your thing. But yeah, make a speedy recovery. And because this ain't going nowhere. It's like, yeah, okay, he's hurt. But yeah, when you get back, yeah, we're going to be on you. The same thing, like just like, he was, for summer league. So
Well, I think this can actually be a positive. Derek Queen, he has some adjusting to do. He obviously has some things to work on. I'm just glad it's not like a lower body injury by him being a big guy, 6'10", knees, ankles, calves, hamstrings, all that type of stuff. It's just his hand, and it's his left hand, and he's right-handed. He is talented though. I mean, he's got a left hand and right hand. He can finish with, he can dribble with his left and his right. But it's gonna give him time to get in shape. I don't think it stops anything with his conditioning, and he'll actually get a chance to, I guess, quiet down some of that pressure you talked about for a little while, because pressure can be good, and I think he's responded well to the pressure. You
yeah,
know,
I agree.
I also think he's the type of person that he has like that chip on his shoulder, right? And he's paying attention to what the people saying about him. Like he's commenting on that a lot. And I think with his arm being, or his wrist being hurt, it'll just give him a chance to work on the stuff right now. Um, I don't know if we're gonna see him in the preseason, but it don't stop anything. So for a guy like him, I think this can be motivation. Obviously, it's going to be a setback, and I'm sure he's upset and a little frustrated. But that frustration, if you use it, can turn into fuel to propel you forward. And like I said, it's his left wrist. So after the initial 3 to 4 weeks, maybe where you got to take it easy, he can still get out there and run and do a lot of stuff. So I think he can come out of this and be pretty well off, and we can still have, I guess, whatever role that's envisioned for him. I would like to see him, coming off the bench, being somebody that you can, run stuff through at some point this season, and then hopefully, if he really pans out the way he's projected to be, and he can be as good as we think he is, at some point in the season, man, maybe he can be a part of a closing lineup. Having Derek Queen out there, obviously he's not going to be a major defender, but I think he can do enough to where they won't pick on him, and depending on the matchup. And you can have a closing lineup with see Poole, Trey, Zion, and Herb, Derek Queen. I don't think that's a bad closing lineup, man. You got a lot of points out there. You got enough basketball intelligence to navigate whatever you need to do, or if it's just a lineup that they play. I'm really intrigued to see what that'll look like. And the bad side of it, this gives Willie Green a chance to think and a chance to fuck it up. I don't.
About what?
I want him to make it back for training camp, Lex, because I think he's gonna go out there and look good in training camp. And if he doesn't, you know how it is. You got to put him through the G League, and Willie Green got to go through his little process before you probably can see Derek Queen um, 30 games into the season, 20 games into the season. But could also be a positive because maybe by then Willie Green is fired. and we don't
Okay,
have
yeah,
to,
let's talk
we don't have
about
to
yeah,
worry about
go on with that
anything.
right there.
So
Okay, yeah.
we don't have to do the switching for no reason, Stacy. The mindless switches is what
That's
you call it,
awful, man. That is so awful.
switching in the disadvantages. But Yves to me hasn't taken a huge leap forward, so I still think some of his minutes can be up to be seized, and Derek Queen maybe can do that. And I don't think this injury changes anything. But it's just horrible to hear, man. It makes you think about us being cursed and all of this. Like, what's going, can we ever have a season where we just have a normal season as far as the injuries go, man? We always got to overcome or deal with something. No player's going to get hurt, but I don't think there's any other team in the league have their premier players get hurt at the rate that we do.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. We talked about that to start the stream. We've talked about that a lot here. A lot of changes happen, but none so far on the injury in terms of the health staff. And the Pelicans thinking they can just roll this thing up and keep it going. And that's what I'm saying about Joe Dumars. When you see a team, what are you looking at? Are you just looking at the last year, how the Pelicans how they behaved in the 21 win season. You got to go beyond that, man. I mean, the Pelicans have had health issues and injury concerns for well over 5 years now. And it's been to the point where it has staggered the growth of the players and the development of where the organization is supposed to be. And then that's also compounded by the bad decision making in terms of them picking up the wrong leadership, wasting time with these people, not recognizing who these people are until they done blown through years and make bad decisions, not having a clear blueprint on how we need to turn things around. You hired this guy last year. He was a freaking politician. He came, a couple years ago, after they fired that asshole Dale Demps. Then you run him in here. He politicked for 6 years and wasted time and came up with all this foolishness. Now we got Joe, and I said this before. Joe Dumars, and a lot of people might not like Joe Dumars. They probably make fun of him because of the Derek Queen unprotected first round pick. Yeah, I get it. I hear you. But at the end of the day, Joe Dumars, in terms of the Pelicans organization, is the most accomplished administrator they've ever had. They never had nobody as accomplished as Joe Dumars. If you talk about his playing career, a top 50 player in NBA history, winning the championship as an executive, they've never had a guy as accomplished as him who did it on the court and then did it in the room, did it in the boardroom. They've never had that. They had this other guy here. He was a gopher for LeBron. And it showed in the last 6 years that he didn't know what the hell he was doing. So in the end, Joe Dumars comes in, he moves around some people. We know the only reason Willie's here because he has the blessing of Gail Benson, just like Elvin Gentry had when Griffin took over the team. He couldn't fire Gentry because Gail had the blessings on him. So this is something that we've seen. So yeah, Willie's in the pressure cooker. We all recognize it. I won't belabor that point. We know that the only thing that didn't change, well, actually two things was they did not improve the health staff, and they still have the same head coach that lost the team. So we know Joe how he's going to deal with number one. You can't sit down there and watch this shit and do research on the last year. Like I said, just go back, and that's one of the main things outside of the bad decision making in terms of the executive to lead the team. The Pelicans have been a clumsy team for a long time. They're a joke of an organization. They get pushed around on the court, and Joe knows he coming in here. He want to toughen these guys out, toughen them up, Get rid of all that dumb basketball bull crap this other nigga. I mean, you saw a person have. And at the
No,
end of
you had it right. You had it right. It's all
the
right.
bottom, the
Because
bottom line,
I gotta stop myself too many
Man,
times, Big Q.
the,
But you
the
said
bottom.
Big Q being
something.
unprofessional up here tonight, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, brother. I'm also a stern supporter of the team. Like you have some people that watch it and it just dies. With me, I
Mhm.
still got I got a heart and love for the team. That regardless of all of the failure for years after years, and watching them doing it incorrectly and yelling over and over again for years, for them to change certain things up, that I actually could say that they're going in the right direction. And and you got stubbornness at the top, but eventually we gonna rule the day here. Facts gonna stand strong in the bottom line. So with that being said, listen, I'm not gonna hold you guys too long. DC, let y'all have the flow to be able to kind of build on some of the points that I talked about, or add some new ones. So y'all got the flow, Lex, DC.
Well, I just want to say one thing, and I'm gonna hand it over to Lex. The major thing I see Joe coming in to do, that I think we finally are going to be done with. I don't think we're going to get pushed around anymore by players, at least. I don't know what's going to go on with the refs. Hopefully, he can have a hand in that too. Everything he's done since he's got here, he's added cultural fits to the team, especially in our rookies. Look at their mentalities. These are two guys that we would have never drafted under David Griffin, right? He would never touch either one of them guys. You know, and looking at Sadiq Bey, that's somebody Troy Weaver's familiar with in Detroit, as well as Kevon Looney. And then they go and they extend Herb. I think that adds a lot to the just identity of the team from an attitude standpoint. All of those guys I mentioned, they're not pushovers. I mean, I don't know if I want to classify any one of them as enforcers. Do we really have enforcers anymore? It ain't like they could fight and everything's a goddamn technical foul. But I think we're finally seeing a shift from the soft, just go out there and let people do anything to them Pelicans, right?
Yeah, what's on that banner again? On the walls again?
One goal,
There you go.
one goal, and
Took all them other
it's
stupid
it's
words, man.
sad. It's sad. It is so sad
What's
that we
sad?
have the summer league, Lex, and I can see this, but I can't be mad at anybody disagreeing with me because it's not really fully showed or been put on display during the summer league. But I've seen it from the guys that probably will actually make the team. You see it from Derek Queen, you see it from Fears, and you
Mhm.
definitely see it from Reeves, at least from the quality of him going out and executing and playing his game, because he was the
Mhm.
most consistent player we had all summer league. Those players didn't ever want to quit. You could tell they didn't want to lose, and everybody else is just kind of run around like
Going
jiggling
through
their
the
head cut off.
motions.
And what should do Shamit, him too.
Shoemate.
Shemate, him too. He played with a lot of intensity, and you can see him out there doing all the little stuff that if you're looking at his stats, you're looking at the dude's stats, you'll be like, well, he ain't nothing. But when you watch the game, he out
Yeah.
there playing. He
Yeah, his
giving it
game was
all, he
really
laying it
loud.
out there, right? So, I think we still in a place to where the Pels can do something this year. It ain't lost, even though it feels like it, man. It's just such a bummer to
Yeah, the coaching
lose
staff is
5
the
games in the
pressing
summer league.
point.
Right, right. But now we gotta hurry up and wait, right? Until they get into October and
Oh
we actually
Lord.
see what the team will look like
That's awful.
in the postseason.
Goddamn right.
That's nothing.
I thought that was you, DC. I was like, dang, DC, how you get your voice to change like that?
I ain't that talented. But you
um,
got it, Lex.
yeah, I agree with you. Um, no, it's really hard to really be dialed into the cultural change and the shift that Joe is trying to build. Because it's one of those things. It's not something that is going to turn around overnight, but you can definitely see. Okay, look, we trying to change this thing, but it makes it so hard when you can't get rid of all the residue. And I continue to say that because that's literally what it is. Um, it's hard to get excited. If I ask anybody about their excitement about the team, it's like, yeah, the players, nice pieces and everything. But then when you start looking at the whole picture and you start seeing who's still here, it's like, dang on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going up and then you're coming down. It's like reality hits. It's like it doesn't matter who you bring in as far as draft picks or who you trade for. If you don't have a coaching staff that is really instilling a strong identity and culture and structure and a foundation, it's like, golly, man, this is like deja vu. So I mean, just to reiterate what you said, DC, it is, hurry up and wait. And really, that's what everybody's waiting for. We're waiting for a better coaching staff. The supporters deserve that, and these players, they deserve it. To truly change, everything has to match up. That's one thing that I can respect about DeJounte Murray. One thing that he stated, and actually he's been consistent in stating, is that it's every little thing that makes this thing go. It's the front office. It's the health and performance, medical and performance staff, the training staff, the coaching staff, the players. Everybody has to be in sync. Everybody's got to be on the same page. It can't just be one department. It can't just be a few players. It can't just, be the front office. Like, it has to be everybody. And right now, it's still the same, even with Joe being here, and we know why, obviously. But like that statement that he said, and I didn't quote it verbatim, but when he was talking about that, that's real. That's true. Like, and right now, as long as things stay the way that they are, it's not, you got some stragglers. You still got residue from that does not fit the narrative, the culture, and what you're trying to build. So it's hard to be excited. It really is. But I just what one thing that will help is that the players being healthy. I really do believe that it's gonna have to be more the players, as long as that special word the Big Q said. It slipped up and said, but he hit it on the knob. You know what I'm saying? As long as he's still here, the players got to step it up. And I don't believe you can truly win with just talent alone, because all these teams are talented. You got players that are talented all over the league. But what makes you a talented team is when, coaching steps in and really puts this thing together. It's not just players. You got to have that person outside looking in that can look at the game, analyze the game, understand what's going on, understand the situation, having situational awareness, and making those adjustments, having those counter punches. Like that. That's coaching. It's not just relying on talent. And there's a lot of coaches who do rely on talent. You see them in AAU and all this stuff, just telling guys to go out there and play and, making them look good. But it's like, hey, no, yeah, I want you to make me look good. But hey, as a coach, I want to make you look good too. You know what I'm saying? That's that mentality of a coach you got to have, not just relying on talent, but bringing something to your team to be like, okay, wow, that was cold blooded that you saw that. Yeah, dog, I got your back. So we just gotta wait a little bit longer to get that type of coaching staff in. What? Why you laugh, DC?
I mean, it's true. But hopefully it can not feel that long. But, we got another 2 months or so, 2-3 months to mold us over before we get, I guess, any new on the court type action other than Trey Murphy, ramping up, which they dropped some pictures of him today, you know, um, in the
Oh,
gym
yeah, some
and his
videos too,
Pelican
right?
stuff. Yeah, yeah, some pictures, some video. Him just I guess getting some shots up. He looks fine. You know, no hitches. Don't look like no setbacks. Obviously, they said he's just waiting on contact. So that's something that we got. Trey should be healthy to start the season. Now we gotta wait for the next shoe to drop on Herb. I would think he's probably right there because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Herb got hurt first, right? He
Yeah,
got
he
hurt
got
before
hurt.
Trey,
He got
but I
hurt
think
first.
his was worse. If I'm not, it was almost the same injury. But they're kind of different. But so we got to see where Herb at, and then you do have the setback with your rookie, with Queen being hurt, but he wasn't. We know he wasn't gonna start. So outside of Dejounte Murray, I mean, we got a pretty solid starting five, and everybody
Yeah.
who you would expect to start in the offseason. So we do have that to look forward to, as well as get a chance to talk about Zion sitting courtside with Joe. I think that is something that shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, they was on the sideline just laughing it up. It's almost looking like how we be chilling with our uncles at the barbecue. I
Just
think
uncles.
I think that's a big deal.
And I don't know. I don't know when the last time I saw my uncle. And
gotta
then
go
at that,
out.
at a barbecue,
Gotta
you
get
know,
around the family, Lex. You gotta go around the family.
we spread out around the country, so it's kind of
Yeah,
hard.
difficult.
But
Y'all doing a family reunion,
I feel what you're saying. I can open up. I can open up and understand where you're coming from.
Right. But
Mhm.
Zion to me strikes me as the type of player and personality that does really well with the old school. Like I think he likes
Mhm.
those 80s,
Coach
90s
K,
type
Stan Van
guys,
Gundy.
that type of coaching, that type of
Mhm.
personality, the tenacity, the grit. Stacy, that was the Blazers game, I believe. That they Big Q got it up. And they had one little section where Joe showed him the phone, man. I don't know what he showed him on that phone. And they was just
You know what?
laughing. He must have
Lord Jesus.
he must have
Some
showed
people
him a
got
nice looking
creative.
woman without the BBL. That's what people were saying.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But
They crazy.
I think this is the start of something possibly special, man. If anybody can get through to Zion, get him on the right track, keep him healthy, get him to put the type of work in. Like, can you imagine Joe Dumars giving him advice on how to stay in shape, or linking him with some NBA guys that can give him advice on how to take care of his body and all of those type of things? I think Zion would take well to that because they have a history of showing they know what it takes and they've done it at a high level. So you have that aspect going on, but the other aspect you got, I saw somebody in the chat mentioned it at the same game, or was it no, yeah, that was at the same game. You had Isaiah Thomas behind the mic, and he talking about he want to coach again. So,
Oh shoot! Now he can stay right where he at. Yeah, I don't like that dude. No.
I can't shoot that away, Lex.
Hey,
And act like it
you
ain't a
know what, Joe?
possibility.
Joe and Dennis Rodman, the only guys I probably like from Bad Boys team. Okay,
Why you don't like Isaiah? What did he do to you?
man, Isaiah, man, his eyes are shifty. You know, he be lying. He be lying, man. Like it's like, nah, I can't deal with shifty eyes, man. That's with anybody.
He's slicker
Yo,
than a
your
king.
eyes too
Oh, he
shifty, man.
is.
You be lying.
He is.
Cause he is cutthroat. Come on now, you listen to Hall of Famers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason why, there's a reason why MJ don't like him. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely a piece of work.
Okay, let's get that right. There's a reason, but he gives him respect though. He got him number 2 on top point guards of all time.
You can't deny him, man. Anybody that says
Yeah,
is the number 2
yeah,
point guard ever, I can't be mad at him.
yeah.
What he was able to
He's
do
cold. I respect his game, but yeah, just
in the Jordan
when it
era
doesn't come to his game.
Magic around, he did that.
Yeah, man, he was doing stuff, man. Come on now. Magic forgave him.
That performance
Magic came out and said, "Man, I forgive you. I'm gonna let stuff go and stuff." Which is good and mature and things. But yeah, like trust me, he was doing stuff. Like he was putting hits out on people, and Hall of Famers be talking about that stuff, man. And he still got that in him. I mean, you can see it in his eyes. His eyes shifty as I don't know what. And now he ain't processing it like he's a little sneaking little thing. You know what I'm saying? trying to do stuff to people. Nah, I don't know about that one, Knoxville.
So we don't know who the next coach is gonna be, but looking at what Joe Dumars did, I'm gonna try and do a little research, a little digging, and I'm pretty sure we could probably find out because everything he's done so far seems to lead towards the familiar, which I'm pretty sure he had an opportunity probably to bring Isaiah in and be the coach of the Pistons if he really wanted to. So
okay, what are these eyes, Big Q? What you doing?
That shifty eyes, Lex.
Oh, I forgot that quick.
That's some eyes you say Isaiah got.
Hey, that dog. Yeah,
Fox eyes. They got a little fox up
over there. That dog in the corner. You see him?
That's how it be. A little low.
Oh, you can't blow it up.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, goodness gracious.
But,
yeah.
So Zion and Joe Dumars is getting off to an excellent start, and I think that's the first of many good things to come. I actually foresee Zion having a tremendous season and really kind of living up to expectations for once. And then I think a lot of this, can be a thing of the past. That's what we would want. But, the Pels do not make it hard to see into the beautiful plantain pudding, as Big Q puts it.
Plantain pudding.
They don't make the future easy to see as a bright one, with constant pitfalls and consistent injuries. Appreciate that 199, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, Michael. Shout out to Michael, man, for the super chat on that.
The answer is yes. Yes, sir.
Big ups to y'all on that. Sir, appreciate you, Michael.
Stacey.
And they got a couple of questions here for the fam here. I think, hold on, let me see if I can find. Steph says, so y'all think the Pelicans have a chance of going anywhere this upcoming season? So let's answer that right quick for Steph. And I thought I seen another one there, but I might have been mistaken. But if y'all have any questions, right quick.
About if somebody hired David Griffin, that's DJ. What's up, DJ?
DJ in the building. Yeah, I keep it simple. IDK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I would say yes. Um, we I don't want to have a revisionist history and just look at last year. And I know they wanted to lose last year. They wanted to tank. You also had the injuries. You also had the fact that let's be real. They quit. The guys quit last year. They quit on Willie. They quit. Point blank period. But this year, when you look top to bottom at this team, we don't have. We got a Zion, right? And you
You
got
mean a
other
Hulk?
teams, huh?
Hmm. You
What
mean
you
a
say?
Hulk?
Right. We got a hope. Yeah. That's why I said it like that. But we got a Zion, and then you look at other teams in the West, and they got teams with superstars too. And then when you get to that second player, that's where our question mark is, right? We don't know if our second guy is going to be as good as other teams' second guys, right? But we have a collection of very good players. The reason I see the Pels going somewhere next season and actually making the playoffs. Now, I ain't gonna put my neck out there and be like they're gonna make the playoffs without the plan. I don't know, but you got Sadiq Bey, who's a starter. I mean, there's a lot of teams Sadiq Bey can go on if he's healthy and fully recovered, which I don't hear any signs of him not being. I mean, he already missed a ton of time with Washington coming back from that ACL, right? And his game isn't predicated on athleticism. And you're talking about somebody who's pretty good shooter, pretty good defender, starting level small forward. He on your bench, coming off your bench. You got two rookies, right? Who you can't depend on, but you got two rookies that's top 10. Some people might say top 5 talents in this draft on your bench. You got Jose Alvarado on your bench. Don't know how Willie's gonna manage his money with fears. I know. But you still got Jose Alvarado on your bench. Probably gonna have Reeves back because I can't see them watching what he did in some league and not get his guy at least another Exhibit 10 deal or whatever. I don't know how that works with this long layover, but I see them giving him some type of contract, right? DeJounte Murray, when he comes back, will he be coming off your bench? I mean, you got a lot of depth. You got Kevon Looney. You still got Carlo Makovich. You know, and I ain't even talk about Trey Murphy taking a leap. Can Herb Jones return to his same level of play prior to the injury? I would bet that. I don't know about the 3-point shooting. Maybe he don't shoot 40% from the 3-point line, but Herb gonna be Herb. Jordan Poole was a phenomenal player last year for the Washington Wizards, who were trying to tank. They wanted to lose. And he single-handedly went out there and beat the Denver Nuggets, pushed the Cleveland Cavaliers, damn near beat them. Went up there and put 40 points on the Warriors, gave them hell. Jordan Poole, I think, is a huge overlooked acquisition. Now, I understand he's not a floor general. Some people will say he's not the smartest high IQ basketball player, but he's a guy to me that could give you points in bunches. And pairing that with Zion, the type of space Jordan Poole is going to see, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So that collection, to me, of players and talents, I can't look at them and be like, oh, the Pelicans gonna be trash next year. They're gonna be in the lottery. I just don't see it. I went out, I say 45 wins. 40, they get at least 45 wins, maybe 44. That's the minimum to me. I don't see them getting 60, 56 or somewhere. It'd be somewhere in the 44, 45 win territory and maybe more. You got a lot of teams in the West that's talented, that's good, but we know the Western Conference has always been like musical chairs. I got you, Stacy. You say no. I know you're gonna say no. You probably got them what 35 wins, something like that. But 45. I'm sticking to it.
All right. Shout out. Thank you for
Let's
that,
go with
Stacey.
44, just for the sake of
44.
who the president is.
Okay. All right. And DJ also asked about
Right.
David Griffin. No, David Griffin has not been hired by anybody as of yet, my man. So yeah, he took a hit on that firing, man. But you never know. He
Anybody
probably be lined up for a
anybody
talking
want to
job
comment?
somewhere.
People say I'm dreaming on 45,
Has
and
has
we
has
acting
another
like
team
the
hired
whole
Willie
starting
yet?
lineup wasn't hurt last year. That don't mean nothing.
What's up, Mose? Shout out to Mose. I see you, brother DJ. Uh, I
But they
mean, DC
500
is
games,
it's
right?
realistically 40 something games.
I mean, I'm 3 games off of course.
I mean, you basing it on the
Who,
talent, and I know the
who's
biggest hindrance
who's the coach though?
to them achieving that is what's the philosophy in getting that talent together. But I don't think that's a long term problem. I think that gets handled. I
But
mean, it's just
even that, y'all, you talked about them playing with talent. I think that was Lex, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we all talk about that. But
It's
yeah,
gonna
Lex
be like
mentioned
20 the 2023-2024 season. We had so much talent that you just couldn't
Man,
help but to go out there and win sometimes.
man, other teams have gotten talented and they've gotten bigger and they have better coaching. You know, it's gonna take more than talent. I get what you're saying, but man, you're gonna have to have some strategy with that talent. You're gonna have, you're gonna have to have some plays and stuff and put guys in the right position. That's the only thing. And really, you can't leave that part out. All these teams in the NBA are talented. And then look at the division. Look at the Southwest Division right now. Look at the Spurs. Look at Dallas. Look at Houston. And Memphis, they gonna be in the thick of things because they the grindhouse. They grind it out. They have their culture set.
Well, I mean, they got rid of Desmond Bain, and I don't think they got better because of that.
All I'm saying is that their culture is still there. Their culture was there before Bain got there. They still have guys that get after it, that play with a lot of conviction and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They have an identity is what I'm saying. The Pelicans, like we've seen this year after year, like that is a huge problem. We've talked about it many a times. Like we have to get that identity. We have to get that identity. And it doesn't matter who's playing and who's not playing. The identity has to be there. That's the beauty about having an identity. It's not just based off of a player, even though specific players do have a lot to do with it. But even when you look at, and I'll use the Warriors as an example, even when Steph is out of the game, the Warriors still play to their identity. And that's the point. That's how powerful, that's how strong identity is.
They got a Hulk, Lex.
Yes, but I'm saying, but the game, we've seen it, DC. The game changes, the style of play changes. The Pelicans don't play the same. Right. When your star sits down, I'm not saying the team should be able to go on, to win every single game, but they should be able to hold it down even when your star is out. You know what I'm saying? If you look at all the good teams, and sometimes, I mean, you can tell like, oh, okay, that person must be sitting down. They ain't in there. And trust me, it makes a huge difference. I think the only team that really happened for was Denver, because every time Jokic sat down, oh my Lord, Denver was bad. They were horrible. You know what I'm saying? But if anybody can think of somebody else, but I think that was the only team. But still, I mean,
Phoenix, but I mean they ain't do nothing last year.
Yeah, well, there was
That's why I'm not fully sold on Houston. If
they had
KD
3
get
guys
hurt,
who played the same position.
Yeah, that was retarded.
And then they didn't have a strong front court either. And then the coaching philosophy was kind of jacked up too. So there was a lot that was going on.
And like,
But Pelicans got to get an identity, man, and they can't copy somebody else. And I know I can see in Willie's brain. I know, like him seeing Jordan Poole and Kayvon Looney. Oh wow, now we can really be like the Warriors. Now, chicken, no, dog. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? Because he always uses the Warriors as an example. It's like, no, I'm glad, and Zion came back and said, man, look, Pelicans ain't nowhere near the Warriors. Zion was saying, like, the Pelicans have to develop their own identity, their own style. And
I
he's
think
right.
one aspect of their identity, which will be prevalent, and I can see it right now. Everybody's leaning in towards more 3 pointers, right? I think the Pelicans are going to fully embrace scoring in the paint. They trying to get drivers. You know, Jamiah Fears can drive, Queen can drive,
Still playmakers. Yeah.
Nine can get driver slash playmakers. And the reason I'm high on him, you got DeJounte, he does the same thing, right? Those type of guys, for the dummy Willie Green, right? If you can just get the ball in their hands, it's almost like it could just be instant offense at times. I don't see the Pelicans doing anything with Willie Green as the coach meaningful, but I think they can have a successful season and get to the playoffs. It's just too much talent. We saw it before with them in the 2023-24 season, just winning off of talent. We just overloaded top to bottom with the bench. You got some teams that are top heavy, and then when you start going into their bench, they're not really that deep to me. Like Minnesota's solid, but they're not super deep. Denver's solid, they're good. They're not super deep. The Clippers, I think, are good, not super deep. And they're older. The Clippers and Golden State, like I think Golden State might actually be good, but they're always question marks because they're older. Houston, they won KD injury away from. They'll still be good, but they're not like with KD. To me, they like shit. It's like them and OKC. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, at least from my perspective, as impossible as it might look right now. When the games start rolling, everybody not gonna be what you would think they would be on paper. And I understand. People say the way, yeah, look at the Pelicans. You're exactly right. But I just see a new energy coming through with some of our star players because of what happened in the front office shift. Maybe it don't trickle down fully to our rookies yet, because till we get coaching and stuff in here, our development and all of that ain't gonna be where it's supposed to be. But I could see the guys being locked in again and at least trying to go out there and play and not give up on the team, even though they probably ain't happy about the coach. They know a damn change coming.
Yeah, that's the only thing we haven't
Ain't
seen,
nothing Willie
BG.
could do
The
to
head
keep the
coach.
job after this year. Even if he
No,
makes
he's
the whole year, he's gone. Like it's over.
Yeah.
He's got this one
I,
more year at the worst.
I mean, this team got a lot of really good players on it, and I just from seeing it from over time, man, I'm just tired of the rapid inconsistency. It's the fact
Mm.
that the head coach is overall seen, not just from the support base, from an intellectual standpoint by other coaches. Willie Green is liked, but he's not celebrated as anything, you know, as a court general or somebody that has a specific niche they're really good at. His defense is mediocre. I mean, his teaching method is mediocre. He's not a good motivator. His motivation ability is mediocre. And this
One.
is and I've said that and watch Willie Green from year 1 to year 5 now. And at first we seen some stuff, but if you put him against other people that were hired at the same time that came in, you just see how far other people just got beyond him. When you look at Jamal Mosley, who got hired the same time he got hired, or when Willie stepped into the Pelicans job, Mosley took the Orlando job. Mosley, matter of fact, interviewed for the job, and they Orlando picked him up. And there were other coaches where you could see them put an imprint on the team. You could see them have a positive effect on a team. You could see Orlando was up and down, and Mosley he took some pieces that he didn't even match at first, and he turned them into a team, got them playing with confidence. And we just here it's just ridiculous. Willie calls his team soft, and he was the one that made them soft. I mean, it's just unbelievable. How you calling them soft, bro? When they're literally, figuratively, a
He was toxic.
representation, a direct reflection of the head coach. And we were saying that for years. I'm like, man, this is a soft ass team. We called them quiet boys. We called all this stuff. And then the tough guys of the team started turning soft, started talking soft and sounding weak and flimsy. So in the end, this is what you get. And you hear Draymond and all these other guys talk crap about the Pelicans, but you don't hear none of the Pelican people stand up and say, man, you ain't going to be handling us like that. We're going to do this, that, and the third. Pelicans it just wasn't the case. There was a joke franchise from top to bottom. A lot of people didn't want to come here, but they got to change. I think Joe Dumars changes a lot of. He brings to respect to this team and a direction. We know Willie Green don't match with him, but I ultimately think he'll get that. Willie Green that probably be taken care of. So I'm not concerned about that. Let's get some. Yeah, go ahead, DC, with that question. You and Lex, what do you think if Murray gets traded this year?
Good question, by 504 Cole. QDC Lex, do you think we trade Murray this year? Y'all go ahead and get
No.
y'all answers first. I just was on the mic forever.
No. I say no.
Really?
Hmm.
I say they do. At some point, they got to. I mean, fears is. I mean, it depends too because of the injury situation. If the man is healthy, you know that's definitely a chip you're looking at. Now I know what Joe Dumas said, but Joe Dumas got to play the game. You know what I'm saying, that he's a part of the team, all this kind of stuff. But Fears is the future. You got Poole here. I guess you can mix and match. You can move some guys around, but Fears is the future. But DeJounte Murray, when he gets healthy, DeJounte's money commands he starts. And I'm gonna pull up these statistics here, monetarily speaking. And DC, you can go ahead on and jump in there. But like I said, I think that ultimately they're gonna end up moving him. We'll see how healthy he is to be moving where they fit at, but it also ties to the injury situation because if the Pelicans having issues at that position, they'll hold on to him. But I think eventually they will move Murray. Go ahead, DC.
Um, man, they have to move him, right? We all know that um, for Fairs to be able to become what he has to become, you're gonna move DeJounte. But there is a chance that they don't move him this year. Has DeJounte changed on wanting to be here or not?
I don't
Can
think
it,
it
can
changed.
can
I
they
think
make it? Can they make it to the off season and trade him? Because you probably, if DeJounte makes it through a whole season, right, and he plays at a high level, which I mean that's a bit of a gamble. His first good stretch run, you might want to move him, right? But let's say they keep him all year and he plays at a high level or returns back to form of what he was prior. And my prediction is straight. We win 45 games. Maybe we the seventh, eighth, sixth seed, and whatever. We go to the playoffs and fizzle out in the first round. You know, what's his trade value then?
elevated
Okay.
because
So
he's showing you that the injury did not show him. His trade value looks even better.
so if he plays, okay, let's say he's coming off the bench to start because that's the role I see for him. Q. I know what his money commands, but Achilles isn't. That's a monster, bro. Achilles is a
I
monster.
know. I
That's a
know.
hard one for basketball. It's actually a little
Right.
easier for football because you can do a lot of stuff straight line a little bit, but just all the running on top of the jumping and cutting,
Hmm.
it's a difficult one, man.
It was
I think
torn, Stacey.
I think he's gonna start on the bench, and then eventually they probably gonna put him in the starting lineup once he get up to speed. He starts to feel more like himself, and KD was talking about that on a podcast. Man, he said it took him almost 2 years before he felt like himself
Right.
after his Achilles injury. I don't know if he had a torn one or a ruptured one. That was a good question from Stacy because I know it'd be different. But I think the value that they can get may determine that, and how they feel about DeJounte as far as mentoring a guy like Fears, because we do need somebody to mentor Fears, right? It's either you sign
Yeah.
a veteran, you had your Malcolm Brogdons and all. I know you got Jordan Poole too, that can help with that as well. You know, who who we gonna get to mentor Fears if you move off of Murray this year? I mean, I think he only really probably would need a year, right? So I don't know. I know he gonna get traded, but I don't know if it'll be this year because there's so many different variables that have to take place. If he comes back and he's playing horribly before the trade deadline, then obviously they're probably not gonna do it. They can't give up another first round pick to get off his contract, right? If he come back and he hit the ground running and maybe he's just playing at an unbelievable rate, they might move him.
Right.
But it's just so many different ways it can go. Then because he's playing at an unbelievable rate, maybe they don't want to move him because we have to win this year, right?
Yeah.
Win now mode.
And,
So
and that's the most important thing that you said. Like, you still need experience. Looking at the roster right now, the way Joe has constructed this is that yes, the Pelicans are building for the future, but the Pelicans are also trying to win now. And that's why I said they're not going to move him. If you're trying to win now, you still want to value or you still value experience. And not only that, depth. Like we don't want we want to be able to play Fears, which he's definitely going to get that because DeJounte is going to be out. And while DeJounte is out, DeJounte's in his ear, giving him advice or, talking to him about different situations and things like that. But if you're talking about having, because the way Joe has constructed this team, there's dual purposes. You're building for your future and you're trying to win now. And if you're trying to win now, which that does hold weight because of the pick, right? The pick with Derek Queen. Isn't that correct?
Hmm.
Okay. Hey man, you trying to win. Yes, you're gonna keep that man. Now, maybe next year is different. But if you are trying to win, Fears is 18. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna need reps, but he doesn't like experience. Experience, as far as winning now, is very golden. And I can tell you right now, like even from my perspective, I ain't trying to see what I saw last season. I ain't trying to see nothing close to last season. Like we want to win, right? You know what I'm saying? And if the Pelicans are trying to win, which I'm never dialed into losing, I understand building for the future. Got that. Great. You got it. It's there. That's not going anywhere. But you still want to win now. And if you're dialed into winning, yes, you're keeping DeJounte for that reason. You got to. I mean, the predicament that you're in, especially with the pick with Queen, Okay, which confirms what I'm saying. You gotta win. You gotta win. Like, and that's why that's why like it puts that pressure. Like, hey, no, we are not just going to lay down and lose. Once you moved up to get Queen, that was kind of confirming, hey, no, we are trying to win now. Because you know what happens if it doesn't, if Queen doesn't make Joe look like a genius. We know what's gonna happen. We know what the narrative is gonna be. We know what's gonna be said. So no, DeJounte's not going nowhere. At least not this season. You gotta win now.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Lex. DC. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting, man, to see how it is. I'm sitting here looking at all these contracts and this money, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna see what's going on here with this money here, man. It's gonna be
I
interesting.
mean, they setting themselves up to her contract don't kick in for what 2 more years, right?
Yeah, you got
And you
5, I
don't
want
and
to
you don't
say.
have to make a decision on Poole for 2 years. So
Pool Kevin Looney is 2 years, so we know what the window is for the
so they,
Pelicans.
they
So it's
got
most
two.
certainly a
They
win
could
now.
keep him for 2 years hypothetically. I mean, I don't think you should, but they can.
I mean,
And
they can. They
and
do have
him,
the option. They
but my
can. So
thing
you're
is
right on
this:
that.
look at this lineup you got up here. Let's say DeJounte returns to form, right? What are we doing? Like so Herb gonna come off the bench? Because I know everybody's gonna be like, Poole should come off. Poole gonna come off the bench. If Poole playing like
Dante shouldn't
how he
even
was
be up there.
playing, if Poole is playing like how he was playing with the Wizards last year, there ain't no way in hell he coming off the bench. Not because he wouldn't be good coming off the bench. That's just no reason. Like, why wouldn't I want that next to Zion? You know, everybody trying to drive and can drive and kick, and he don't. He basically a 3-point assassin and a lot of jump shots. I want to have him
Hey,
out there with
real quick,
Zion.
how tall is Sadiq Bey?
He had them shoes on, Lex. He like 6'7".
No, I was just asking how tall he was. I mean, because I didn't know.
Oh, I thought you
Um,
was referring to. They had a picture with him where he looked like he was taller than Trey Murphy.
oh no, I was just asking. I'm going through different lineups in my head and stuff. But we know that DeJounte's not gonna be starting. I
Right.
mean, he's gonna be out. Um, but I always felt like Jordan Poole. I know he can play point, but I feel like he's better. He would be better at the 2.
But if the Pelicans are gonna play the way we think they are, which I think they're probably gonna lean more in the point Zion, you know, it should
Yeah,
it definitely in spurts. Jordan Poole is the perfect. I don't care what his position is. If we run a point Zion, like he perfect guy to have at the point guard spot. While you running point Zion,
yeah.
if you're not gonna point
Another
Zion
playmaker.
technically as the point guard, So I mean,
But
it worked.
really,
His game with Zion worked to me on
what
paper.
I'm
I just
looking
gotta
at,
see it.
because I've said this before, Zion's not a 4. Okay, and I think you had pulled up something recent as far Big Q, as far as the stats,
Mhm.
as far as getting downhill and stuff. But
Nah,
he's
that
not
was
a
me. I
4.
signed that.
DC
Like
sent that.
with Zion at the 4, that to me is a small lineup. Like we need somebody to play the 4 spot
Good point, Stacey.
that makes it a big lineup because man, these teams got big, man. I mean, does anybody notice how big these teams are getting? You know what I'm saying? Like they're getting bigger. Like I feel like that's still like a void now, because really Queen is more according to how he played
He played a
against
4.
Portland. He actually, when Messi was out the game, Queen actually played better at the 5. He actually played more comfortable. He played better defense at the 5 as well.
So it'd be
So
Queen and Carlo Lex. You want to go big?
yeah, like
That'd be a good lineup.
how Kelly Olynyk, remember when he was here? That's why I really Kelly Olynyk is probably the best, like, big next to Zion, like that I've seen. Like their connection was there, and they went big. Messi was at the 5, Kelly was at the 4, Zion was handling point. You have and then Kelly, he knew how to shoot, he could spread the floor, he could set screens, and he also knew how to pass to Zion. You know, I mean, he was throwing alleys to Zion and stuff like that. Like, that's what's needed. Like, Zion needs someone else to play the 4. Someone similar to Kelly Olynyk, because he was actually perfect. You know, and that's the thing, like, the positions are not right in people's heads. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of like I'm trying to point them out, because when you actually see what it's supposed to look like, it's like, wow, you know, they did work well together. It really did, because Zion going up against the traditional 4s is like, that's not it. He doesn't need his back to the basket. I'm not saying that he can't have his back to the basket at all. I'm saying that that should not be the majority of his game. Like, Zion was in the top 10. And I got to find that article again. But he was in the top 10. And you know what? You brought it up, Big Q, in the DMs. You posted that. Remember?
I posted it.
That was
Oh,
DC.
you did?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Well, DC, you posted it.
It's
Like,
enough. You gotta stroll up.
but I
Chill,
mean,
DC. Good chill.
that's where Zion flourishes. And it's like, for some reason, some people, well, mainstream media, they don't get it. But, you know, we keep, well, not we, because I'm not going away from it. But y'all get what I'm saying. People keep going away from that. Like, be like, oh, he's a 4. No, he's not. He's not. Like, we got to get that out of our heads, and we got to start speaking what he really is. And he's shown it. We just, for some reason, some people just don't accept it. Like, are y'all seeing this right here?
Everybody up there, point guard.
Exactly. Exactly. Zion has the ability to guard point guards. And when he's guarding, like when he's
Where's
going
Giannis, though? I would think Giannis should be up here too, right? He must be at like 13.
but he's not, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at this, y'all. I mean, like, these are, I'm not making this stuff up. Like, this stuff is very important to understand. Like, we have to position this guy in the right way so that, you know, he's really maximized. And not only that, when he's really maximized, that's maximizing everybody else around him. Yes. And a lot of people, then it's like, okay, Lex, but he don't have a jump shot. I need you to understand that Zion is a unique player when he plays the point. He does not play the point like anybody else. Really, you can't even relate it to anyone else. It's kind of like you got to open up your mind a little bit about his game. No, he doesn't have a consistent shot. But Lord Jesus, can you imagine a 1, a 2, or a 3 trying to guard him? And not on the other end of the floor, Zion, when he's dialed into defending, and we've seen him defend at a high level, that dude can move his feet. And it is hard to get around him. It's hard to get around him. And when he's playing with his chest, okay, when he's moving his feet and playing with his chest, my golly, like, you have problems. You're talking about getting out in transition, like, and literally, it's the Pelicans creating the layup line on other teams. he's literally a mismatch on both ends. He really is when he's playing up there. Like sometimes, like when he's playing the 4, you don't see those mismatches. But for him to be as big as he is, to be as quick as he is, to be as explosive as he is, dog, that's a very unique point guard. So what he lacks in as far as shooting, which I'm not saying Zion don't shoot. That's not what I'm saying. He just doesn't do it at the volume of these other guys. But he makes it up again when he's dialed into defense. Okay? And he's taking advantage. It's hard to get around Zion, people. Okay? Like Zion can guard. He can guard Ja. We've seen him. He can definitely guard Luka. You know, I mean, he can guard Harden. He can guard these guys. He has the quickness and explosive. He just has to have his legs under him. Now with Shea, because he is a foul merchant and stuff, you know, he can do all the pump fakes and things. That might be very challenging, but he can do it. He just got to be a little bit more disciplined. But you know,
But they gonna put Herb on Shea. They're not gonna.
No, I'm just saying, like those strong wings, like guys like Kawhi, Zion can guard that dude. He can guard Harden. You know what I'm saying? Like he can get with a you know, just because he has the quickness and the athleticism to keep up with these guys. I mean, he can do it. To LeBron, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we've seen it. We know what he's capable of doing when he's dialed in on defense. But that's what makes him really dangerous is if he really polishes up and he's consistent in being that strong two-way player, which he can be, because we've seen it. We just, you know, we've seen it. I mean, the guys, he's that much more dangerous. And that kind of makes up for the shooting that you lose that you wouldn't typically get from him like these other guards because they do shoot. But there's again, it's basically an opportunity cost. That's what it is. Okay, hey, I don't do this, but guess what? I do this. And doing this gets out in transition. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there's ways around it. I'm telling you, we just gotta open our minds up to the possibility of that. And then, you know, Zion's gotta, you know, he's gotta show it. He's gotta produce. And that's the biggest thing. So, but yeah, we do need that 4. We really do, because if what we saw with Queen when Misi came out the game and Queen was really elevating in that 5 spot, I mean, he's not comfortable in that 4. And the goal is to maximize.
He's only played, I believe, center is most of his life, but he's also played. They had another big with Maryland that he played with. I think he can play with another big, but my thing is, I guess why I'm a little lower on Misi than a lot of people. I don't want to fully judge him just off of summer league, but to me, he just looks like he's always gonna be like, you know, like a big that has to be directed by the point guard. Like he just don't have the feel for the game to be able to make an adjustment. Misi.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure.
Okay. Yeah, he couldn't make the adjustment to help Queen get on board.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah,
maybe they can figure that out, because there's gonna be games where we definitely gotta play him for matchup purposes. And I understand we got to play, you know, big sometimes, 2 bigs for matchup purposes. But there's also games I think where they could play like a lineup like we had up on the screen here. You know, probably could add Herb to it with Jordan Poole instead of and why I don't want to click on that? Guess I gotta go pull it up myself. But instead of having DeJounte in the lineup, probably would be Herb. I think that's gonna be our starting lineup, Lex. I know what you're saying, and we do need those double big lineups, man. You got Houston, who, man,
Everybody's big. It ain't just Houston.
Houston tall as shit.
Shoot.
Memphis. You got to deal with
So is the Spurs. They just picked up
the Spurs.
Kelly, and they picked up Cornette. I mean,
they gonna be good too. That actually, I think that's one of the teams we probably gonna match up the worst with. The Spurs. They probably gonna have our number. But Dallas.
Don't say that. Big Q heard that. So did Tasha and Sean.
I'm just saying it's true. We may be able to split one of them, or they win more, but it's just a tough matchup to me. Just looking at how they construct.
You know what? If Willie's the coach, every matchup is gonna be a tough matchup.
That's really what I'm saying, Lex. They're not.
Yeah, but I mean,
but it's like
the thing is, the positions are wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like they trust me. If you talk to Willie, he's still, even though they talked about him being point, they still gonna talk about him being at the 4. Because Willie, he's stubborn and he is so locked into the small ball. Let me tell you something. If all the competition around you is getting bigger and you still talking about doing small ball as a change up and having Zion at the 5, you know what I'm saying? Think about this. And I'm pretty sure, if he's here, if he's still here, he's gonna do that before he gets let go. I mean, that's
I don't see the fascination with Zion at the 5. I kind of
but
did.
Willie likes.
I was open to see what it looks like, but I don't understand. Like, why
Willie is really dialed into that small ball, and I haven't seen anything.
What advantage do we get from putting Zion at the 5?
Exactly. There's no rebounding, but really, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Kayvon. I think Willie's gonna start Kayvon. I really do.
I wouldn't be mad at that though. I wouldn't be.
I know they have Messi up there. He ain't about to start Messi.
I wouldn't be mad at that if Looney started. I just don't want to see a double big lineup with Looney and Messi. I don't want to see that shit.
No. I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. Like right now, you really don't have a 4.
We got Carlo. To me is kind of like a true 4. But I know a lot of 4s now. They got a little bit of a face-up game. He don't really have no face-up game. Kind of.
But he does.
Maybe he do. He just couldn't display it, because he kind of got to get in where he fit in. So I don't know. But Carlo come off to me is an actual true 4 though.
Okay.
And Sadiq Bey.
Okay, but
I think Sadiq Bey could probably pull off the 4.
Well, that's why I was asking how tall he was.
He undersized though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to do that small ball. You want the matchups to make sense against other teams, as well as putting Zion in the right spot where he's flourished and he's maximized. And that's what I'm looking at. It's like you can't teach size.
Why you can't?
You got to match up, and then you can't small ball. I don't have anything against small ball. I really don't. I use it with my team, but it's got to make sense. Like when I see the other team when they take their big man out and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at their other big man, and it's like, oh shoot, we got an advantage. Get him out of it. You know what I'm saying? I take the big man out so we can speed up the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to read the situation and then understand your personnel. Like, dude, everybody's getting bigger. Everybody's getting bigger. And then you talk about last season, the Pelicans had a rebounding problem. Okay? So all that small ball junk, dog, with all this length, this wingspan, okay? Hey man, that small ball is not gonna work. Maybe in the second unit, but really the way that he uses it, I'm just like, dog, just abandon it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's definitely not a strategist. But yeah, we The only thing about Carlo, you said Carlo was a true 4, right?
No, I mean,
Now,
actually, he plays center where he was, but like the way he plays in the NBA, I see him, as a 4. I think he could play a little bit of center too, but he got defensive issues, Carlos. So, but just his game, he's
but
more of a true
okay,
4.
so with that being said, like he's a true 4, but is Willie someone who's gonna start him?
Oh,
And
man,
then there
I
lies
don't
the
know
problem.
I don't know what the hell Willie gonna do because he retarded. Yeah,
But
Willie probably would
but what he
start Herb
everybody in
Jones
the
at the
chat is
4
he
or
gonna
something.
start Carlo? You know what I'm saying?
Don't put Herb at the 4, Lex. That's what Willie gonna
Exactly.
do.
Which is really sad. Y'all see you see where this is all working out. Henceforth, because he's not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's much of the same. Because if you're talking about building around Zion and really having this thing all together, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to put a true 4 in the starting lineup? And he's not. He's not. He's gonna start Kayvon. Okay, he's gonna have Zion at the 4. Y'all get what I'm saying? Was Trey's gonna be out there hopefully. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's gonna put Zion. You think he'll put Zion? If we had so much success with Zion not playing the 4.
No, I'm just saying because look, because you don't have a true 4 other than Makovich, we know Willie's not going to start Makovich. We know that he's not going to start him. So
what about Trey? Trey playing the 4 if he got stronger.
I mean,
the height is there. I mean, he like 6'9".
Yeah, he is 6'9".
He's
Again, it
mobile.
makes
His game
I
is
do
still
think
more
about
of a
that.
wing, though. His
You know
game's
what I'm
still more
saying?
of a
Because
wing,
he
but
can't stretch the floor, but
yeah,
um,
that'll create matchup problems. But I don't know how it would be on a. I
I
guess
don't
it
know how
depends.
comfortable Trey is. I
It
mean, as far
depends.
as
It depends on the matchup because certain matchups I wouldn't want him at the 4.
yeah, because if you talk about Trey Murphy, like for instance, Anthony Davis, he plays the 4.
Nah, I don't want Trey at the
You
4.
see what I'm saying? Like you need somebody who's a true 4. I don't think Trey.
They
I
gonna
don't think
put they
Trey.
gonna put Herb. They gonna put Herb and I think Sadiq Bey. They gonna be in a rotation with that.
And again,
And
they
Carlo gonna
small.
be mixed into that with injuries. Until Queen get back, and they're gonna do the same thing with Queen.
How tall is Tatum, Stacey? How tall is a dude?
I think he's
I don't remember everybody's height,
6'9",
so that's why I'm asking.
6'8",
He's 6'9".
I think so. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up for you. Give me a second. But
He's
I don't think
6'8".
Tatum ain't that tall.
Well, you know what? It is possible.
Just got to be strong enough, though. He's
Yeah,
strong.
you do. You got to hold your ground. You got to be strong enough to.
I mean,
But he
Tatum
definitely has the
he's
height, and
solid.
I feel like he has a Trey Murphy has the athleticism and
Trey just to me
the mobility.
a little
Huh?
lighter. Tatum 210. I thought he was a little weight a little more than that. 210 though. 6'8",
Called a power
210.
wing. Yeah, they get. There's a lot of names like a stretch 4, power wing, point forward. They coming up with all types of names. Stretch 5. I understand it's not traditional positions and things, but yeah, I feel like Trey Murphy would probably to me would be more of that traditional stretch 4, more so than Zion.
Oh yeah.
He just wouldn't be considered like a power forward.
I mean, they got Trey listed as
But yeah, power wing. That makes sense.
206. But he actually is like 6'9", I think almost 6'10" or a little bit under 6'10". I don't know how much he weigh. He looked a little more solid from the pictures I saw today. Maybe put on a little more weight. But it's doable. But certain matchups, like you said, I don't want Trey trying to guard no goddamn AD. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, well,
they gonna put
it
Herbie on him
also
regardless.
it
So
but it also depends on your defensive scheme too. Like, help defense and all that stuff, but
yeah,
you really got to have your rotations right. But and then, basic stuff like boxing out. You know what I'm saying? That stuff still works, you know? I know
that's
some
why
people.
that's why you say Looney gonna start. He gonna grab them rebounds for about 10
Yeah.
minutes till he got to sit down.
Yeah, Looney can't start. He can't play more than 20 minutes with an artificial hit. Oh, I didn't know he
I
had an
don't think
artificial.
I don't think that mean he can't start those days. They're just not going. He not gonna have extended starter
He's not.
minutes.
Yeah, he's not gonna play the whole time.
It'd
But
be
I
like
mean,
Steven Adams, like
but just knowing Willie Green, you gotta understand. Gotta understand just the mentality of who the dude who's standing in as coach right now, and he's gonna want to go with experience. Plus, the fact that Kayvon Looney came from the Warriors, and Willie Green does have an infatuation with the Warriors style because he's talked about it in the past. We know this. He's gonna want to start him, regardless of what Misi has done. But you know what? I'm kind of disappointed in Misi. Misi went and put on all that muscle, and it's like, dog, did you work on your skills? Because he did not impress me. And I'm kind of, you know, but like you said, DC, it's almost like, Misi needs to be instructed on where to go and stuff like that. But I was hoping he would have been. I was hoping to see a whole lot more from him. I mean, it's not too late, but
I mean, defensively, I don't think he looked horrible. He looked like he got a little better rebounding, not as big of an improvement as I would like.
and we
But
need him to finish around that
and
basket.
then I can't really gauge it. It's in the summer league, right? He still can't catch for shit. You
I mean,
know,
yeah, no, he can't. But I mean, look at how we looked at Jordan Hawkins on last summer league. I mean, we want, we always talk about how we want to see some improvement. What have you guys been working on? You've had plenty of time. Your off season started early. You didn't make the play in, nor the playoffs. So you had plenty of time to work on your game, work on something, because the off season, you still in the off season. But I think just naturally we want to see something that's different. And Jordan Hawkins, you could tell, he worked on his defense, worked on getting stronger. We knew his shot was already there. I don't know if his handle really got any better, but it's like, Misi, dog, you a professional. You got to be able to catch. You got to be able to catch the ball. Be strong when you go up with the ball. Just things like that. Finishing around the basket. It just seems like he's delayed. Like, dude, like, guys shouldn't be easily be able to block your shot and stuff like that. And then understand, like, using the pump fake, pump faking when you got the defender on your hip and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then, going up strong with the ball and not losing in things. But I think really the catching and just finishing around the basket is that's one of the things that kind of bother me. Like, dude, you put on all this weight. Okay, they're not pushing you around, but if you're not finishing around the basket, if you're not catching the ball, they still pushing you around, even with the weight on. So I just I know this stuff is a process, and Misi, he doesn't have a lot of years under his belt, since being drafted and things, but you do want to see some improvement. I mean, and like I said, it's the same thing with Jordan Hawkins. We want to see it with him. And one thing that didn't help with Jordan is that they didn't have him in the right position. They wanted him to handle point, and it's like, dude, like, he's a true two. Like, that's his role. You know what I'm saying? But It's like
I kind of see what they were trying to do, and I'm not mad at it. I think they were the idea was to increase Jordan's handle. Like when I see him dribble, he has the ability to be a lot better with the ball than he is, right? So I think they thought allowing him to run point in the summer league would unlock or maybe open up a little bit of a more playmaking skill for him. Um, he's supposed to be baby Ray Allen, right? So trying
shoot, yeah, baby Ray, but he's big.
to
You know what I'm saying? I've never seen Clay, Steph, or Ray like benched like that.
that's
They
why that's why
even
that's
if
why
they
they
are
say
benched, they
baby.
still get playing time.
That's why they say baby Ray. But I think they were trying to add to his bag for his dribbling. That's all I think that was about, and have him be better at getting his own shot and being successful with it. But that shit failed miserably because I just don't think we do good like developing guys through stuff like that. Like we can we can get them to grow at what they're already good at, but just introducing like a whole new set of skills for them, man. Since we lost the shot doctor, I don't know who have we unlocked with this new skill that they didn't have when they got here. So I don't know.
Nobody.
I think Jordan Hawkins is just kind of a
Nobody.
casualty of that. I still think that we bringing him up, man. He's a wild card to me because I still think he can be pretty good when he gets away from this coaching staff, whether that's with us or somebody else. We just don't use him properly at what he's good at, and he don't get enough minutes to kind of stay in a rhythm. I think he's more of a rhythm shooter, and when you don't know what your damn role is from one game to the next, I could see how that could not have you play your best, and also he dealing with the back thing. So um, I'm curious to see how it pans out for Hawk, though, man. I still think he's a guy with a ton of potential, but he ain't getting no younger. He was already an old rookie. Let's see what we got here. The standings in the West. So just want to take a look real quick at the Western Conference before we get up out of here. And again, to me, I know we got all these issues, but I don't think it's impossible for the Pels. You got so many good teams in the West, man. I mean,
Mhm.
you got teams what for 40 wins that ain't gonna make the playoffs, and when you go over to the East,
Yeah.
but they had a 40 win.
Yeah. I feel like the Southwest Division is the hardest. Like
40
the
win team in
Southwest
the league.
Division just packed up.
Yeah.
They ain't even playing, man. That's why I don't even need to look
Well,
outside the Southwest
but
Division. I
even
mean,
in the Southwest though, you still got, to me, two coaches that ain't proven, and the coach of the Spurs, and then the coach of Memphis. Like we don't know how that's gonna pan out, or if they're gonna add them extra 5 wins as a coach.
well,
Sure,
we
sure
know
they'll
Willie
look
Green
better
ain't up
against
there,
us.
is he?
I
You
know
didn't
they're
even
gonna look
mention
better
him.
against us. I know you're going. But you do got Jason Kidd and you got Udoka with Houston.
Yeah.
Uh they're definitely awesome.
And
And
the Spurs, really, I know we don't know a whole lot about that coach, but man, I mean, Popovich just, has the reins on to this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm really not worried about that too much because Pop is just in the office. It's you
I mean,
know what I'm saying? Like you really he's not gonna be shy about coming down and talking to him and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure he's learned a whole lot from him. So and then with the talent that he has, I'm pretty sure he's going to be just fine. The culture in Memphis, they've had the same identity for a long time. They really have. And because they've had such a strong identity, being the grindhouse, the grit and grind, whatever the motto is, that's going to be there. So I understand that those coaches are improving. Obviously, they are, but the identity of the organization and their system is still there. Okay, it's
I mean,
almost like that's
how do we
acting as
know?
their
How do
own
we
entity.
know their system is still there? You familiar with their new coach?
No, but
I know they had
the
that
organization,
weird
like
ass
they
set
have
they
a
used to do.
strong identity. They have a strong system. Like they've kept that intact for years. Like it's been like that. The Pelicans don't have that.
What do they
Like
call that?
everybody,
Would they be running that circle motion where everybody just kind of moves away from the ball like in a circle? You know what that
huh?
is? Like it's like a kind of a set that they was running. I don't know if they still run it. When somebody would drive, everybody would move like away from the ball, almost in a circular like type motion. It was something real creative they
Motion.
was doing, man. Yeah, it was motion, but they do it a little different. Um,
Well, there's a lot of different motion offenses.
this one I ain't never seen nobody doing that before till they did it.
And who did this?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who the main guy was behind that. I'm just curious if he's still over there in Memphis. I think it might have been one of their assistant coaches or whatever that came with that. Or that might maybe that's the guy they called up to be their coach. Stacy's saying he's a great coach. I guess you're talking about the coach from yeah, oh damn, so he is the coach. Okay. Yeah, their offense probably gonna be stellar then if that guy's the coach. Cause
Now, who are you talking about? Dude at the Spurs?
no, I'm talking about Memphis.
Oh, okay. I mean,
He
I
talked
didn't
that's
really care for his look,
Stacy.
but
I don't know his name either, but
yeah, I
Stacy
don't
know
know
who
his
I'm talking
name.
about. Stacy said he the best offensive mind in the world. That's high praise, Stacy. But yeah, he was an assistant over there, and he had that motion offense, man. And it's like
Well, didn't we
he was
have an
fucking
offensive
everybody up
mind
for a
in
little
Dan
while.
Tony, but he wasn't helping the Pelicans out at all. And we
Listen,
supposed to have an offensive guru in Borrego, but we don't never see that with Willie as a head coach.
well,
But I'm just saying.
that's still that's different, Lex, from what I'm talking about with this.
I know.
This
I'm
guy
just
came
saying.
through. He came
Shoot.
through with an innovation. Like he came through with something new that
Hmm.
hadn't been seen before. But anyway, I was just curious about that. But looking at a lot of these teams in the West, like still, I'm gauging it. I'm pretty sure Memphis is going to be good for years to come. But it's first year coach. You got the Spurs first year coach. Like I don't
I
know if
mean,
they gonna be
he
at
took
their
over
maximum
coaching last year.
for the Spurs.
No, Memphis. The Memphis coach.
Yeah,
They.
late in the year, and they went through the
Yeah, but
playoffs.
yeah, this will be his first
It's
full
still an
season. But
adjustment. It's an adjustment. Is all I'm getting at.
okay, well,
Um,
shoot.
the Spurs they got some young guys. You got Castle, second year player, who you kind of depending on. You got Dylan Harper, who's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Wemby's ready, and they got some other pieces around them. I'm not saying they're not gonna be
Luke
good.
Cornett,
You got
Kelly
Luke
Olynyk,
Cornett, you
and
got Kelly
De'Aaron
Olynyk.
Fox.
Kelly Olynyk done been on 15 teams. As good as I like them with us, it ain't like, oh my God, they got Kelly Olynyk. I don't know what we gonna do. You know,
Well, he's a
I'm
smart player,
he is a smart player.
and he
He's
fits
a
them
good player.
well. Very
But
disciplined
I
too.
can't look at Kelly Olynyk and be like he's the defining factor when it comes to winning.
No, I was just saying,
You
like,
know,
to add, another high IQ player, a stretch four, that's a plus,
most definitely.
And then you still have De'Aaron, you still have Vassell
I
and
forgot about De'Aaron. Yeah, they got De'Aaron
and
Fox.
Johnson.
I'm a little curious to how they gonna roll that out. Like, is one of those guys gonna come off the bench? Are they gonna just run three
Oh,
guard
and they
lineups?
still got Harrison Barnes, don't they?
They still got
It-
Harrison Barnes. Yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean,
They solid.
they, hmm?
They solid, but I mean, it ain't like I'm looking at them and they like a juggernaut.
Well, no, I wasn't looking at them like that
I
either.
mean, it's
But
all
you
on
know,
Wemby though. And they in a lot of ways they got a Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Wemby is if he have an
you mean an
MVP type
alien?
season, an alien, yeah, that's what they call him. If he got an MVP type season, you know what I'm saying? Then sky's the limit, definitely. But I'm just saying, everybody has their holes or ways where I could see them not being as successful as everybody think. The three teams to me is just ain't no hole. You got Dallas, you got OKC, and you got Houston. And them three teams, I think, even if somebody goes down, like they're still gonna be able to win at a high level. And I guess I'm not sold on Memphis still doing that with this new collection, but normally they would be built like that. The Clippers are injury away. Denver, injury away, and we don't know how they're gonna look without Michael Porter Jr. I think they're probably
I
gonna
mean,
look
they got
better.
Cam Johnson.
They got
He
Cam
plays some
Johnson.
plays.
He do,
Yeah,
and
they traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson.
right. But I'm saying we think they're gonna look better, but we ain't never seen them play, so I don't know. I think,
We ain't
but I
never
don't
seen
know.
Houston play either.
Right, right. But I mean, it is KD. He's probably the most plug and play guy
Look at you.
that ever
I'm just
was.
saying we haven't look, DC, we haven't seen none of these teams play.
Look how extreme you going. You going from Cam Johnson to KD. But I'm just making a point of everybody's got
Man.
different stuff going on. The Lakers, to me, they ain't do anything impressive. But I mean, they still got
Hey, they
LeBron and
got
Luke.
they got
They
they
can
got
fully cover them all.
dominating
Who?
dominating Aiton.
Oh man, nobody remember him. I forgot they got him.
Yeah, I told you, DC. Remember we were talking?
Ain't no move the needle.
I told you.
They still need another big with him. You know
The
what I'm saying?
Lakers gonna probably pick him up,
Right. But
and they
you got a
did.
collection of good teams, and everything is just up for grabs. It's almost like a rat race, man. You don't know how it's going to turn out in the West. So looking
Um,
at that, I can't count us out.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we get look. The Pelicans get a better coach. Hey, man,
We got some teams numbers on this
the
list
Pelicans
too.
got something all of a sudden. I mean, obviously you got to get the right one, but golly, man. I mean that makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference when you got when you got juggernaut talent, and then you got a juggernaut coach who knows how to put the talent together. I mean, it makes a difference, man. It's like that's why that's one thing looking at Dallas, looking at
Yeah, I
Houston.
forgot.
That's
Yeah,
one thing that makes them
Kyrie
dangerous because
out in
look
Dallas.
at the coaching. We saw that video of Ime Udoka.
Oh,
He was sparring um
he was sparring
sparring
with the
training with
point guard.
Van Vliet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like golly. That's what the Pelicans need. Like, how come, man, somebody
we
sparring
could have
with
had Ime
Zion or
too,
something?
man.
You know what I'm saying? Ime Udoka sparring with Zion. Man, let me tell you something. Man, that's a beautiful scene right there. It really is. Golly. Hey, the Pelicans could use some of that for real.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But you got a lot that's still up for grabs, even with all that. Like even with the Rockets, like it's still gonna be a transition for a short period for them integrating Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Just so
Oh
many
shoot.
different things. But I mean, you look at the West, and I
Man,
get it: 68 wins, 52 wins, 50 wins, 50 wins, 50 wins, 49 wins, 48 wins, 48 wins. Yeah, shit, I get it. I
yeah.
get it. But somebody on this list, I'm just looking for one or two teams to not be at the level that they were last year, and the Pelicans slide in that slot. I don't know who that is, but a couple of teams up here for whatever reason, we seem to be able to beat when we're at our best. You know, we can beat Minnesota. Like we pretty much got their number. You know what I'm saying? We
Same thing with the Clippers.
Clippers, yeah, we always get the Clippers. We put up a good little
I
fight
don't
with
know. They
Dallas
got
too.
Lopez now. They picked up Lopez. He's
Yeah, that's a
probably gonna
great
be playing
second
the
center
4.
to pair with Zubac. No, they got Collins too. So
Oh
Lopez
yeah,
ain't
they
even
got
gonna start.
Collins. Golly.
They stacked.
Yeah, they beefed up.
They stacked, but you know,
Yeah.
and they got Bradley Bill. But my thing is this:
Well, that wasn't really notable,
when
but
it
I get
when
what you're saying.
I've seen this movie so many times. You know, we looked at Brooklyn and it was stacked too, where you know older players that were good and that
I
shit
don't
didn't fare
know.
out
I'm
well
looking
at
at Link.
all.
No, I was saying like you were saying like teams that Pelicans had their number. I
Oh yeah,
said
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
saying
We
the
got that number.
Clippers. But
Yeah, we
then I
got.
went on to say that they added the different players that they added. But you know, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I was just
They
talking
got
on,
too many. They one of them teams to me. They got too many names. But you know, Ty Lue probably can figure it out. He's a real good coach. But they got it's like ain't enough basketballs, man. You got James Harden, Bradley Bill, Kawhi, John Collins. They got Zubac, and they got Lopez. I guess
I
Lopez,
was surprised that they got rid
and they
of
still got Nick
Powell.
Batum and all them guys.
I was
You
about to
say,
say Colin Powell, but that ain't his name. But
oh,
Powell, they traded, yeah, they traded him to Miami. I was like, dang
well,
man, why'd y'all get rid of Powell?
they flipped him for Bill, but I mean the way Bill played with Phoenix, but he ain't have a point. He ain't have James Harden a lot better than Devin Booker at running the point. So uh, I don't know how Bradley Bill gonna look though. I ain't so
Um, Stacy had a question. What is our in-season tournament group? I know the Clippers and the Lakers are in it. And I think Dallas is in there too.
Dallas. I think Denver too, right?
I hope not. Lord Jesus.
You know they go pile it on for that on season tournament.
Golly.
I
I
don't
know
foresee
those
us
three
winning that
teams are
shit.
definitely in it though, Stacy. Um,
That would be dope if we could win the in season tournament though.
you know what? Who is Willie still gonna be the
Come on.
coach?
I said that would be dope if we can win it. I didn't say we
No,
were
that
gonna
would
win
be
it.
super dope.
Oh wow. He might have to play.
All right, DC, we gotta go, man. I got an 8 o'clock game.
Oh girl, you still up there talking?
Yes. I got an 8 o'clock game on tomorrow.
All right. Well,
Shoot.
on that note, we gonna go ahead and wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? The
And look,
Pels,
Big Q left. Little chicken. I saw you leave.
he fell asleep, I think. I can't even trying to go to the media stuff to close out the show properly, man. I don't even have all my
Uh-oh.
stuff in here. But
Uh-oh.
anyway, on that note, Pels wrap up the summer league, you know, and
Oh, and
they didn't
5.
do they didn't do very well from a win perspective, but we still have a
Mm-mm.
chance to put a W in the win column for the acquisitions that we made in the draft. Both of our guys showed up and they showed flashes, and we would like to see them to continue to build on that going into the preseason, and
Mm-hmm.
then we can actually start to get an idea of what this will look like together. You know, once we actually visit live game action again for a while in the not so far away future, but not so close in October. So um, you got us here breaking it down, rain, sleet, or snow. Me, Big Q, and Lex. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show. We gonna always be here for y'all, family. I really didn't want to do the show tonight. Lex had a game. Big Q and fell asleep. But we here. We here. So next time we do this, hopefully we got some better news to bring to y'all than 0 and 5. So with that,
Smash the like button like you want to punch Willie in the face.
there you go. Hey, hold up. Let me see what. Wait a second. Let me see if I still got it here. Oh, damn, it ain't up there no more. I was
It's all
gonna put the
right.
picture. I was gonna put the picture of him back up there, looking all stupid next to
No
him.
Summer League playoffs, Tramal. Okay, 0-5, 0-5.
Tramal crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Not 5-0, but 0-5.
But on that, go Pels, man. Looking forward to this new season. Change is gonna come at some point. Hopefully, before 25 games, get Willie ass fired. But peace out until next time, family.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always saying, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.